Hi, so you might have heard me mention in earlier videos the difference between viewing your dog as the name first and then their dog breed and then the fact that they're a dog and then finally thinking that they're an animal, and that one of the primary foundational mindsets that I carry into a dog training session is approaching the dog with the respect that I'm dealing with an animal who is a dog, who is a certain breed, who happens to have a name. And just that simple shift in reversing the order of the how I view the dog makes a big difference in the whole energy vibe. I'm not trying to relate to the dog's personality. I'm trying to show respect on an animal level and coming, at that level. So here's a great example of how that technique works. If you've noticed by now in the video that this is actually a cat, congratulations, because, I'm not trying to sound like rude. Being aware of stuff like that, especially the fact that it's zoomed pretty far out, is what I'm talking about. Like, how much attention do you pay to just stuff? It will all be very helpful when you're trying to communicate with your dog. So what we're doing here is we just, got to this kind of like new little spot, and I'm letting the cat check it out. I've got her food and water bowl over here. And you can see she's wanting to go back into the car because that's where we came from. And I'm just, going through the same thing. Like, I'm using leash pressure or lack thereof as my primary communication. I'm making sure that my body language is very still and that every movement that I make is very deliberate. When I reward her and offer her comfort and praise, I'm doing it in a very neutral way that shows her that I'm not trying to make a big fuss about things. So all of the things that I'm doing right here on this video are exactly what I would do with a dog who was in the exact same circumstance, meaning they're a little nervous, they're unsure of their surroundings, they're slowly becoming familiar with their surroundings, and I'm there to act as a helper so that they don't get freaked out by stuff. Because I've muted the sound from the original video, but you can tell by the fences and stuff that there's neighbors all over the place, and they're all making, random normal noises. Like a dog might bark, some people might talk, or kid might, make a loud noise while they're playing. And all that stuff is going on at random increments, and you'll see at different times when she reacts to that. And the way that I handle that is to, number one, not cave into it. Meaning, just because she gets fearful and wants to go hide, I don't feel like I need to honor that real quickly. Because I know that if I do, it will encourage her to use that flight mechanism. And I respect that it exists, and obviously if a loud bomb went off, I'd let her run into the car, no problem. But for normal stuff that's just a part of day-to-day life, I want her to develop a healthy sense of familiarity with her surroundings so that she doesn't be nervous in the future about every little sound. And if I provide her with a calm, stable source of energy throughout this introduction where she's just figuring out the different sounds, then she'll feel empowered to be more relaxed in the future in the exact same situation. And then you're in the process of taking steps forward. So I would really highly encourage you that especially if you're reading my book, I talk about this. When you are seeking to take this upon yourself, or whether or not you're working with a trainer, but once you cross the line and say, hey, I really want to help my dog be cool for their own health and for my own enjoyment, well, it's important that you become a ally to them in a way that's helpful and doesn't reinforce their insecurities that you're trying to help them overcome. And when you're working with a child, there's one way of doing that, and when you're working with an animal, there's another way of doing it. And if you cross over and use the way that you would help a child go through a very similar process, and use that method and mindset on the animal, it's not going to produce the results that you would hope for, even though your intentions are definitely in the right place. So you can see she heard a noise. She's looking to get back. I just calmly give her some space. And you see here she's sniffing the bumper of the car. You might have heard me mention in other videos or spoken with me in person about the fact that once I can perceive that a dog shifts into wanting to be curious with their nose, that's like a big green flag for me that they're feeling a certain amount of healthy curiosity even amidst their nervousness. Because a dog or an animal who is truly really fearful, they won't really be using their nose too much. They'll have already decided that they need to be fearful. Use of the nose involves more of the decision-making process, and that's what I try and encourage in the animals I work with. So you can see how I have my body positioned very still, and when I moved, I just took one gentle step because there was some noises off camera, and she definitely wants to go in the car. But it's important that I don't let her flee. So I just give her the space and the time she needs, and when I perceived that she was sitting down and not trying to run, I gave her a few little bit more time, and then I gently encouraged her to come back to me. And when she did, I let her rub up on my legs and gave her praise. Now, if you were doing this with your dog might not want to rub on your legs, but the key is to whatever reward and praise that you offer the animal once they've overcome a brief speed bump of insecurity and responded to a positive move forward towards you in a calm state of mind. It's important that whatever reward and praise that you do offer, and I definitely feel like that's the time when you do need to offer reward and praise, that it be done in a way that doesn't overstimulate the animal. Whether that means excitement or now they're on edge again because you're making a big fuss. Just keep things neutral. And you can see she's wanting to walk over there, so I'm being pretty flexible. She's got the whole level of communication, understanding, tension. So when I use the leash to gently just ask for her to not move any further in that direction, she gave herself a brief moment to process that, and then just calmly turned around and walked back towards me and kind of went over to the other end. You can see that whenever she moves towards the grass area, I let her do that because I want to give her ample opportunity to go potty. And if she doesn't go potty, I just encourage her to try and stay out more in the open space right here and get used to that feeling of not having an immediate obstacle to go hide underneath if you hear a sound. So by doing this exercise with the animal, you're slowly building a foundation of coping skills that are going to be necessary for them to have as you move forward and try and make their life more free and introduce more opportunities for them to experience life. It's very important that they have these basic level coping skills so that they can in fact enjoy the life. So you can see here she's taking a nice drink of water, got the food bowl sitting right there, And, she's looking around. She's a little sketched out. Just basically giving her the space. I think I might reach down and pet her a little bit, but it's not like a super over the top, like, oh, good girl, I'm so happy you're eating. It's like, no, it's just like a, hi, sweetheart. Here we are, and I'm just sharing the energy. I want her to feel like it's totally normal for her to eat and drink when she's not 100% sure. So, part of my goal with working with your animal, I mean, I really only work with dogs. I mean, this is my own cat. Please don't contact me to come train your cat. I really don't want to open up that can of worms in my career at this point. So, the point is when you're trying to help an animal move forward through a challenging situation, you just want to be neutral and very helpful, very attentive to the animal, very responsive to the animal, but also completely non-reactive. So you can see I thought she might have to go potty, and she didn't. So I just leaned down and says, okay, could you come back here then? And she, kind of does. And it's important, like, so see now how she's a little bit stopped. It's important when you're trying to help an animal move forward. Number one, be patient. And number two, rather than expect her to come to me any further once she's already kind of stopped, the next step in getting her to come towards me would be to create a little bit of forward momentum in that regard. Meaning I would wait till she was in a calm state of mind, relatively attentive to my interaction, even though we were standing further apart. And you'll see, I think I do it here. I want to make sure there's total slack in the leash so that she understands that she's not being dragged anywhere, that she's proceeding to walk everywhere she goes on her own power, and that I might be asking her to come towards one direction, but that I'm not like dragging her there. Because that's how I'll build a foundation of trust, to know that she can know that I'm not going to pull anything, out of left field that's going to scare her. That she'll know that if I'm asking her to come towards me, that it's okay. And you can see how I'm using my body language to kind of coerce her to come towards me. I think I might have called my name. I think I put my hand down to kind of wiggle my fingers to get her to come towards me. And you can see right behind the tire of the car, she's like sitting right there. So she's like, got like what I would call loose tension on the leash. It's not completely tense, but it's not relaxed either. And my first goal with getting her state of mind to connect right here is to get it so that she's chilling comfortably without me having to move any closer to her. And the leash becomes like fully loose. Like you'll see, this was when a big noise happened and she definitely wanted to go back in the car. She was like, I'm totally done. So you see, I put the leash on the ground. That's like the next step in making it be like clear to her that the leash is loose. Like it's rested on the ground for a few feet. So there's like no direct like tension of any kind of ask coming towards her on the leash from me. She can't feel it like shaking in my hand. Now I pick it up, and here's what I'm saying. You see, I start to move backwards. So I want to help her by taking those couple little steps backwards, showed her that I was going to want to move that way, and I was really hoping that she would come with me. And she got the vibe. She understood what was going on, and she came around. She still wants to go back into the car, and at this point I let her go because it's on kind of like our mutual terms, not like she's running away. And that's pretty much it. So I hope it was helpful. Thanks for watching.